Welcome back to the show, everybody. We're about to start our meatball stew, and I'm kind of excited, smelling good already. It's just the water in the pot.
That's all it is. It's some good Cajun water. First, we start to, well, I'd say diminuer our roux, but I guess that wouldn't be the word you'd use. What you thought?
It means dissolve the roux.
Dissolve the roux. Start dissolving the roux at a time. We have some local people who make good roux, but I like to make mine with pork lard. It's heart healthy.
It's a lot better for you.
It has a good flavor. I just, it's a little bit of work, but I always like to do that myself. But like I said, they have good roux. That's how you start anything. A gumbo or stew, you got to have some good roux to start with. And I like dark roux. Some people like light roux.
I like the dark roux myself.
Not dark.
I like mine dark also. It's like when you're making gumbo, some people like it thick, some people like it
Like a little thin, yeah, you're right.
Now, for my family, I like to put turnips in my stew.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
But some, when you have a mixed crowd, it's not. They don't care for it too much.
Well, they can just spoon around it,
Right. Well, they'll take it as Irish potatoes and they'll take a big bite.
That's true.
And maybe we could do like that, babe. If you eat too much, if you find the turnip, you got to cook the next stew or something like that.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
But when you make it, the biggest challenge is the patience to melt the roux.
Yeah.
You have a tendency to want to hurry up and start putting everything together, but you got to dissolve the roux because there's nothing worse than taking a bite of stew and you have a hunk of roux.
A little piece of roux on your spoon.
And you can't put that on a cracker.
No, you can't put that on a cracker.
Or between two slices of bread, neither, huh?
We have one of our guys that's not with us, by the way.
He's here. He's under the counter.
Oh, he can't see him. Let me do your bathroom.
Is that the half man?
That's the half man.
Due to technical
didn't bring
difficulties, he couldn't get up high enough. But
We didn't bring the stool.
Don't adjust your set.
that's
real.
right.
That's him right there.
It looks normal size on the poster.
This would be a family show. We go in more detail, but this is a family show that we're not gonna go there.
Poor James, y'all dogging him bad.
Well,
We all get dogged.
it's worse when he's here.
If you notice Barry's feet right here, he's diabetic. And he loves honey buns and he loves sweets. So I have a bottle of whiteout. And every time he loses a toe, I'm gonna white out one of the toes and the legs until there's nothing left but the head.
we cooked at a cook-off recently, and the people we cooked for, the lady, a couple of days ago called me and said, thank you. We came out second. We had a good time, and the lady said, for a while, I thought you were gonna fight. I said, no, we don't fight. We the
only booth you had to watch.
Oh, we just have a good time, and we're not gonna have a good time. We're gonna stop doing this because if you don't have a good time, you got to do something else.
Yes, that's for sure.
I love to cook.
Gotta love what you do.
I love to eat, so it's a bad combination.
It goes hand in hand.
Well, you never trust a skinny cook. And the proof is in the pudding.
Again, don't adjust your set.
He's got the apron on. He actually looks bigger than me.
Yeah, I'm camouflage. We cooked at the soiree. We had a good time at the soiree. That was a nice
we all
event.
had a good time.
Yes,
yeah.
sir. We
We
have fun
have
every year.
a similar event in Eunice for the Eunice Community Health Center for Wednesday before Mardi Gras. We don't actually cook because we put it on, but we have a lot of people from Opelousas come and participate and come to the event in St. Andrew Parish, around St. Andrew Parish, chefs from all over.
Really?
We're not chefs, by the way. We're cooks. You're a chef.
Yeah, you're a chef.
Yeah, he's certified.
Yeah, you're certified. We're certified too, but we can't go there either.
You're certified, but not in cooking.
But I can be certified in eating. I do a good job. Someone asked me the other day why it's another place we cooked at. We cooked meatball stew and backbone stew.
Ooh,
and
backbone stew.
if you're going to cook for a lot of people, and you're going to be doing a lot of drinking, water or anything else, and it's going to be a lengthy. Meatball stew is good because it holds up.
Yeah.
Backbone stew, once it's cooked. You have to kind of start serving it, or it's going to start falling apart on you.
And then you don't want that.
No, and meatball stew, you can cook it and put it on simmer and just let it continue to simmer until, in 3 or 4 hours, whatever you need. And it reheats well too, where backbone stew falls apart. So, if somebody's out there and wants to cook the same flavor, I get my local butcher to ground up my pork, and he adds the seasoning while he's grinding it up, and I like to put it
mixed well
in the freezer. Like if I'm gonna use it a month from now or whatever,
Kinda let it marinate
or at least
a
a
little
week or two, like a week before we cook. Like this was done a week before. I like that kick, that flavor.
Yeah. It's kind of like gumbo. It's, when you put it in the freezer, it's better when it comes out.
Oh yeah,
Just
much
about
better.
sitting in there.
And this is unusual for us because we either cook for 30 or 300.
This is yeah. We cook. I have a little camp, and he has an outdoor kitchen, and we take turns cooking. And you notice I'm the one cooking, and he's not saying much because he would critique me.
I am critiquing. We're gonna talk about that later.
But
I hate to see the drive home. Man, why you
we
did that
come
on
with separate vehicles when we leave. But he'll call me. And
Oh,
tell
no,
me.
if the short one could reach over the counter, he'd really be critiquing.
Oh yeah, he's always telling us what we're doing wrong or whatever the case may be, you know. But anyway, we take turns cooking. We cook all kind of stuff. He's a good chef when it comes to alligator. He's a good alligator cook. We've eaten a lot of alligator lately, more than
too
we
much
can.
alligator.
I'm kind of wanting to spread out
I
every
like
time
some
I
good
go.
alligator now.
It's to the point now if Troy Landry sees us, he'll say, shoot him.
They're trying to get alligators.
So y'all each have your own little thing y'all like to cook.
Oh, we do everything.
We do everything. We cook anything.
Sometimes we'll have a supper at the outdoor kitchen with chicken hearts and gizzards and sausage. Just,
or ponce or
which is a
cow
very,
tongues.
very
Yeah,
cheap
that-
meal, but it's
that's
good.
my-
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that. I grew up on stuff like that.
I love to cook cow tongues. I love cow tongues. You
See,
know.
that's the only thing. I'll eat anything one time. That's the only thing I've ever eaten that I'll never eat again.
Cow tongue?
I think I had it wrong. The first time it's ever been prepared for me, I had someone who, I can say no names, but they might be watching right now. But she bought it and said, "To me, did you remove that membrane, around it?" Oh, they said it was ready to cook. I said, "Well, yeah, properly, And she cooked it just like that.
So it's a little bit
tough,
crunchy.
tough. I said, "Oh, like bubble gum, it just gets bigger and
You
bigger."
gotta. It's like cleaning a gizzard. You get some gizzards that are not cleaned.
Oh.
You got to go through that because
Yeah.
sometimes they'll miss it, and that's not a good flavor there.
Well, Barry, we're going to go ahead and let your group keep cooking for a little while. We're going to take a short break and come back with more What's Cooking in just a few minutes.
You're watching KDCG TV.